In the quiet, picturesque town of Greenwood, nestled in the rolling hills of the countryside, lived a young mother named Emily Turner. Greenwood was a close-knit community, where everyone knew each other's names and greeted each other warmly on the streets. The town was known for its charming cottages, blooming gardens, and the sense of safety that permeated its cobblestone pathways. Emily, only 22 years old, had recently given birth to a beautiful baby girl named Lily. She lived with her husband, Mark, in a modest home on Elm Street. From the outside, their life seemed idyllic. Mark had a stable job as a mechanic, and Emily had always dreamed of becoming a mother. However, beneath the surface, Emily was struggling with the overwhelming responsibilities of motherhood. Greenwood residents often saw Emily pushing Lily's stroller through the park, her face a mask of exhaustion. Her friends and neighbors noticed the change in her demeanor, but they attributed it to the usual challenges of being a new mother. What they didn't realize was the depth of Emily's internal turmoil. Emily had been an active member of the community before Lily's birth, participating in local events, volunteering at the library, and maintaining a close circle of friends. But now, she found herself withdrawing from these activities, her world narrowing to the confines of her home. The vibrant woman who had once lit up every room she entered was now struggling to keep her head above water. Emily had always been a vibrant and outgoing person, but after Lily's birth, she found herself slipping into a deep depression. The sleepless nights, the constant crying, and the relentless demands of caring for an infant took a toll on her mental health. Mark, working long hours to support the family, was often absent, leaving Emily to face her struggles alone. The once cheerful Emily became a shadow of her former self, plagued by feelings of inadequacy and despair. She felt trapped in a cycle of exhaustion and hopelessness, unable to see a way out. Despite her efforts to seek help, the stigma surrounding mental health in their small town prevented her from finding the support she desperately needed. Emily's days blurred into a haze of feeding, changing diapers, and trying to soothe Lily's incessant cries. The joy she had once anticipated from motherhood was replaced by a crushing sense of failure. Every time Lily cried, Emily felt a pang of guilt and frustration, convinced she was a terrible mother. The isolation grew, and Emily began to withdraw from friends and family, unable to admit the extent of her struggles. The walls of their modest home seemed to close in on her. She felt a suffocating weight on her chest, as if the very air around her was conspiring against her. The once familiar and comforting routines of daily life now felt like insurmountable obstacles. She longed for the simplicity of her pre-motherhood days, but the guilt of such thoughts only deepened her despair. As the months passed, Emily's condition worsened. Her depression deepened, and she began to experience intense bouts of anxiety. She often felt disconnected from Lily, unable to bond with her daughter in the way she had hoped. The pressure to be the perfect mother weighed heavily on her, amplifying her feelings of failure. One fateful evening, after a particularly difficult day, Emily reached her breaking point. Overwhelmed by the relentless cries of her baby and the suffocating weight of her mental health struggles, she made a decision that would change their lives forever. In a moment of utter despair, Emily harmed Lily, an act driven by her inability to cope with the overwhelming emotions that consumed her. The incident occurred in the quiet confines of their home, away from prying eyes. The aftermath was immediate and harrowing. Emily, realizing the gravity of her actions, was consumed by a mix of horror and remorse. She called Mark, who rushed home to find their daughter injured and Emily in a state of shock. Mark, devastated and torn, called for emergency assistance. Paramedics arrived and quickly transported Lily to the hospital, where doctors worked to stabilize her. The sight of her tiny, fragile body hooked up to machines was a stark contrast to the image of the joyful baby he had known. As Mark held Emily in his arms, he struggled to comprehend the depth of her suffering and the darkness that had led to this tragic moment. The community of Greenwood was shocked and horrified when news of the incident broke. Emily was arrested and charged with a grievous crime, her once bright future now overshadowed by the darkness of her actions. Lily, though injured, survived and was taken into the care of her paternal grandparents, who were devastated by the events that had unfolded. Emily's trial was a painful and emotional ordeal for everyone involved. Friends and family struggled to reconcile the Emily they knew with the one who had committed such an unforgivable act. The court proceedings revealed the depths of her mental health struggles, shedding light on the silent battle she had been fighting. Mark stood by Emily, torn between his love for her and his duty to protect their daughter. He spoke about the Emily he knew, the loving wife and mother who had been consumed by an illness she couldn't control. His testimony highlighted the need for greater awareness and support for mental health, particularly for new mothers facing postpartum depression. The trial was a crucible of emotions, with moments of raw pain and unexpected compassion. Neighbors who had once judged Emily harshly now saw her in a different light, understanding that her actions were the result of an untreated illness. Mental health experts provided insights into postpartum depression, educating the community on its symptoms and the importance of early intervention. Throughout the trial, mental health professionals testified about the severity of Emily's postpartum depression and anxiety. They explained how these conditions, left untreated, could lead to devastating consequences. The case sparked a broader conversation about the importance of mental health support for new mothers, breaking the silence that had long surrounded the issue. Emily was ultimately sentenced to a psychiatric facility, where she received the treatment and care she had needed all along. Though her actions could never be justified, there was a growing understanding of the circumstances that had led to that tragic night. The community of Greenwood rallied together to support Lily and her grandparents, ensuring that she would grow up in a loving and nurturing environment. The town's response was not without its challenges. There were those who harbored resentment and anger towards Emily, unable to forgive her for what she had done. However, there were also many who recognized the importance of compassion and understanding, advocating for mental health resources and support. Mark visited Emily regularly, their conversations a mix of sorrow and hope. He shared stories of Lily's progress and the support they were receiving from the community. Emily, though burdened by guilt, found strength in the knowledge that her daughter was being well cared for. The psychiatric facility provided her with therapy and medication, slowly helping her to rebuild her shattered sense of self. In the years that followed, Greenwood became a beacon of awareness and support for mental health issues. The town established programs and resources for new mothers, aiming to prevent similar tragedies from occurring in the future. Emily's story, though heartbreaking, served as a catalyst for change, inspiring the community to prioritize mental health and provide the support that so many desperately needed. Lily grew up surrounded by love and care, her resilience a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Emily, though forever marked by her actions, found solace in her treatment and worked towards healing. Her story, Shattered Cradle, the unforgivable act of a young mother, became a poignant reminder of the importance of understanding, compassion, and the critical need for mental health support. Greenwood's transformation was profound. The town's commitment to mental health awareness extended beyond new mothers, reaching anyone in need of support. Schools, workplaces, and community centers all played a role in fostering a culture of openness and understanding. The tragic events had left an indelible mark on Greenwood, but they had also paved the way for a brighter and more compassionate future. Mark continued to be an advocate for mental health, sharing their family story with others and working with local organizations to provide support for those in need. The bonds between the townspeople grew stronger as they rallied around a common cause, determined to create a community where no one felt alone in their struggles. Emily's journey was one of healing and redemption. Though she could never undo the past, she dedicated herself to helping others who faced similar battles. Her courage in confronting her own demons and seeking forgiveness served as an inspiration to many. And so, Greenwood thrived, its streets filled with laughter and joy, forever grateful for the courageous deeds of Emily, Mark, and the countless individuals who had turned tragedy into a beacon of hope. The story of Shattered Cradle remained a testament to the power of community, compassion, and the unbreakable human spirit. If you enjoyed the story and want to hear more enchanting tales and thrilling adventures, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to join our storytelling community. Your support helps us continue to bring you captivating stories and magical moments. Let's journey through the world of stories together and create unforgettable memories.